Live at 5.
The Chisholm community reacts to new distance learning.
Plus, we're hearing from St. Louis County health leaders about their recommendations to avoid a COVID outbreak in the classroom. And later,
we have reached the tipping point on the need for climate action.
We'll hear from scientists who say pollution is back to pre-pandemic levels.
You're watching Live at 5 on Live Local CBS3.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Kristen Bakke. Tonight we're learning more about what went into the decision to move an entire Iron Range school to distance learning and what that could mean for other school districts in the Northland. Last night at 6, we first reported about an increasing number of COVID-19 cases and classroom transmission at the Von Steffensrud Elementary School in Chisholm. We still don't know how many cases are connected to the school, but a 14-day distance learning period will start tomorrow. That came at the recommendation of St. Louis County health leaders in a letter sent to the Chisholm School District Superintendent. According to those St. Louis County health leaders, this school year is much different from the last when it comes to COVID protocols. Last year, the state laid out clear guidelines for when students would move from in-person to distance learning. Those guidelines were based largely on community transmission rates. This year, health officials say they can make recommendations like they did in Chisholm's case, but at the end of the day, it's up to the district.
It's very individualized. There are best practices put out by MDH and MDE, and they are strongly recommended and encouraged, but there are no requirements for schools to follow.
Many schools across St. Louis County had their own plans on how they would handle a potential outbreak this year. While most have those in place before the school year, according to county health officials, the Chisholm district did not. CBS3's Abigail Smith spent the day in Chisholm hoping to hear from parents and school leaders about the decision to move to distance learning, something that proved very difficult to do today.
On Wednesday, the Von Steffensrud Elementary School announced abrupt distance learning plans amid a sharp increase in COVID cases. I spent the entire day in Chisholm. We knocked on many doors and reached out to parents on the phone and social media. All the parents I spoke with said they didn't feel comfortable talking on camera about the decision and its impact on them, saying they were afraid of community reaction and harassment. They also told us it's an adjustment they have to get used to once again. Other parents agreed to speak with us on camera and then declined later. The superintendent and other school board members also declined interviews, saying they are only following the recommendations of St. Louis County health experts. Other board members didn't respond.
All right, thank you, Abigail. The Chisholm School Board chairman told us yesterday masks were optional for students and staff, and students will spend at least 2 weeks with the at-home learning format. COVID lockdowns helped to cut fossil fuel emissions around the globe, but 1 year later, scientists say pollution is back to pre-pandemic levels. The UN is calling for urgent action, as CBS's Ian Lee reports from London.
The clear skies of the pandemic are a thing of the past. The United Nations says the future looks smoggy, with climate change moving faster than predicted.
We have reached the tipping point on the need for climate action.
A UN report card finds none of the world's major economies is making the grade when it comes to cutting greenhouse gas emissions, even though nearly 200 nations pledged to make big changes under the Paris Climate Accords in 2015.
This report shows just how far off course we are.
To get on track, companies around the world are looking at green solutions. They're producing more solar and wind power.
Those are penetrating into energy systems quite fast around the world at the moment. They're falling in cost extremely rapidly.
In the United States and Europe, scientists are experimenting with fusion that paved the way for carbon-free power. Iceland unveiled the world's largest plant that sucks carbon dioxide from the air and stores it underground. Scientists warn if more solutions don't come quickly, we can expect more extreme weather, like droughts and fires, deadly heat waves, and devastating hurricanes. Ian Lee, CBS News.
President Biden will meet virtually with leaders from the Major Economies Forum tomorrow to discuss plans to fight climate change. Dave joins us now for a first check of the weather. Dave, I was woken up by some pretty strong thunder early this morning.
I was as well, because that was the first part of our low pressure system working its way through our region. That was the warm front sector of the low coming through, and it kicked out some fairly decent rains up north, especially Hibbing-Chisholm area, almost 4/10 of an inch, a 1/4 inch around International Falls, also a 1/4 towards Two Harbors, 3/4 of an inch at Grand Marais Airport, and lesser totals for central Minnesota and northwestern Wisconsin plus the UP. But now tonight, we're expecting the cold front to slice across the region and stirring up the moisture that's in the air right now and creating an 80% chance for thunderstorms overnight. And again, some of them could become severe as we go through the evening and overnight hours here. 80% chance indeed covers all 3 of our zones in our region, but it should hit us fairly quickly and be gone for Minnesotans by about 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, and for Wisconsin and Michigan by about noon. So despite the chance for big storms tonight, by Friday we'll go back towards partly cloudy. Behind the cold front, of course, will be cooler air. Friday and Saturday will only be in the 60s, but Sunday is still expected to push into the 80s. We'll talk about how long that could last coming up in a few more minutes.
All right, thanks, Dave. The city of Superior has decided on a new way to hand out money collected from tourism spending. This week, the Superior City Council voted to create a tourism commission. That group of 6 will be appointed by Mayor Jim Payne and approved by the City Council. They'll be responsible for deciding how to dole out 70% of the city's hotel-motel tax collection. That money was previously given to an organization called Travel Superior to carry out the city's marketing campaign. Mayor Payne says he hopes this move will allow more investment in community organizations.
There's very much a dire need for this, because if we don't create it, we don't have any options for what we can do with this hundreds of thousands of dollars. It only goes to one organization, and we have almost no oversight of that organization.
We reached out to Travel Superior to hear from them about this decision. We did not immediately hear back. Minnesota's junior senator joined a conversation today about preserving women's reproductive rights in the state. Senator Tina Smith took part in the roundtable with other lawmakers, doctors, and activists. Planned Parenthood organized the event in response to the restrictive Texas abortion law. Smith says abortion is not a political issue, but rather a personal issue for women and families. She called the Supreme Court decision allowing the Texas law to stand a blatant attack on women's freedom that is also deeply discriminatory to women of color.
Those that will end up paying the terrible price are those that don't have the opportunity to fly to another state to take the extraordinary means that are now required for them to exercise their constitutional choices.
Smith says she supports passing the Women's Health Protection Act, which codifies Roe v. Wade as law. She says people who are pro-choice also need to organize to ensure their elected officials support women's rights. We're following a developing story in West Duluth tonight where police are on the scene of a deadly motorcycle crash. It happened about 90 minutes ago on Highway 23 and 121st Avenue West in the Fond du Lac neighborhood. According to police, the crash involved a motorcycle and another vehicle. Witnesses say the motorcycle rammed into the back of a vehicle that had stopped for a school bus. Police say the victim was not wearing a helmet and their name has not yet been released. Highway 23 remains open, but MnDOT is reporting significant slowdowns there. We'll bring you any updates on this crash throughout the show and at CBS3Duluth.com. Still to come on Live at 5, everyone is welcome to show their speed at the Chequamegon National Forest this weekend. We'll have more details as we bring you around the Northland after the break.
You're watching Live at 5 with Kristen Vaki. And weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live Local CBS3. CBS3 News is brought to you by Ralph Eye Care Specialists.
Medicare Decomplicated, brought to you by UCare. Question, can I keep my doctor with a UCare Medicare plan? Yes. With 96% of all Minnesota providers in our network, it's more than likely you can keep your doctor. See? Decomplicated.
It's Chevy Truck Month, and it's time to add the perfect accessories to your new Chevy. Make it bolder. Make it work harder. Make it your own. Find new possibilities. Find new roads. Get great offers from GM Financial and $1,750 cash allowance on Silverado 1500 Crew Cab pickups. Plus, now during Truck Month, get a $1,000 accessory allowance towards the purchase of eligible accessories. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Uh-oh, that food container won't contain your food, so you mess with cling wraps and foil, hoping food won't spoil. Well, not anymore. Now there's Stretch and Fresh Containers, the amazing food storage containers with stretch and fit lids that let you store more. Even the odd-shaped foods you couldn't put in containers before. Just stretch over the food and snap lock the lid to keep food fresh. There's even a freshness date dial to track storage time. It comes in the sizes you need to store all the foods you want with amazing storage capacity. It's freezer and microwave safe, and the containers nest for compact, stacked, space-saving storage. And right now, the 6-piece set is yours for just $19.95, and the shipping is free. But wait, call now and we'll double the offer and send a second set. Just pay a separate fee. Here's how to order.
Call 1-800-378-1232 or go to trystretchandfresh.com. That's 1-800-378-1232 or order online at trystretchandfresh.com.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Medicare Decomplicated, brought to you by UCare. Question, how much does a Medicare plan cost? $0. That's where they start with UCare Medicare Advantage plans. There's a plan for everyone with a range of benefits and costs. See? Decomplicated.
Welcome back to the CBS3 News, live at 5. Here's a live look at Bayfront Festival Park, all set up for this weekend's Oktoberfest. And for the sake of that big white tent you can see in the background there, I'm sure they are hoping the severe weather holds off. Dave will be in to give us an update on that with your full forecast in just a few minutes. But first, let's take a look around the region. Ashland High School is playing host to 2 impactful events, and Hibbing residents are putting the fun in fundraiser. All of that and more as we take you around the Northland, city by city. We start off tonight in the Chequamegon National Forest for the 38th edition of the Chequamegon Mountain Bike Festival. Off-roaders will gather in northwest Wisconsin on Saturday to test their skills against thousands of other bikers. There will be 3 races available, a 40-mile race, a 16-mile race, and a 15-mile loop available for kids, which will introduce them to the basics and preparing the next generation of racers. The event will also feature live music, food trucks, and beer. Next, we head to Ashland, Wisconsin, where locals are looking to spread hope, help, and strength in the community during National Suicide Awareness Month. On Saturday, the Ashland chapter of Sources of Strength is hosting a 5K color run beginning at 10 a.m., and it's free for all participants under the age of 18. Sources of Strength is also putting on a wellness expo from 9 to noon with community organizations that offer support for all aspects of health. Both events will be held at Ashland High School. And we wrap up tonight in Hibbing, Minnesota, where community members have taken a lighthearted approach to their crucial fundraiser. On Saturday morning, the Kicking Cancer in the Cornhole Tournament will return for its 2nd year. All proceeds from the event will benefit the Angel Fund, a nonprofit organization that helps residents of northeastern Minnesota with medical expenses as a result of battling cancer. The deadline to register for the Bags Tournament is tonight at midnight. If you'd like to donate to the Angel Fund, you can head to our website. And if there's something going on in your neighborhood that you think we should know about, send us an email and it might be featured as we go around the Northland, city by city. Still to come on Live at 5, with the help of a newly formed organization, Afghan refugees are settling into their new homes.
Last night's warm front really did the trick temperature-wise. We made it to 82 degrees already today at the airport in Duluth, so now that's a lot of heat and humidity that can be lifted up and converted into thunderstorms overnight. A cold front is off towards the west, hoping to do that. We'll take a look at the latest Doppler map, see what the timeline is coming up right after our break.
We're kicking off a new season in NYC. I'm putting the y'all in New York. You didn't even know it was there, but it is now.
During the 3-day sale at Home Furniture, everything is on sale. Plus, get 3-year special financing with no money down and no minimum purchase and free shipping. Hurry, the 3-day sale ends Sunday at Home Furniture.
Come on down to Hannah Johnson Fabrics and Sewing Studio in Lakeside Marketplace. Don't know where to start? Visit our new sewing classroom and studio. Whether you're a brand new sewist or you've sewn for years, we have a class for you at Hannah Johnson Fabrics. We'll help you get your projects going with our huge selection of high-quality designer and specialty fabrics. Our friendly staff will help you find exactly what you need. Come see us in person or register for classes online at hannahjohnsonfabrics.com.
Mining. It's a part of Minnesota's history that affects everyone in the Northland still to this day. From environmental issues to economics and so much more. Join me, Kristen Baki, every Tuesday for Eye on Mining, a fair and unbiased report that answers the tough questions surrounding the world of mining.
Eye on Mining with Kristen Baki. Tuesdays at 10 only on live local CBS3. Brought to you by Range Regional Airport.
Fall savings are happening now at Home Sleep Express. Get 3-year special financing with no money down, no minimum purchase on quality mattress brands like Luxuria and Thomas Cole. Plus, get free delivery and installation. Fall savings at Home Sleep Express.
Order your 2022 Polaris snowmobile now from Duluth Lawn and Sports.
With bow hunting season starting up this weekend, we'll tell you what to expect if you're going out and hunting deer.
And tonight, one Range Elementary School has returned to distance learning. How parents are reacting.
Tonight at 6 on CBS3. Now, the CBS3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Let's start by talking dew point, because the dew point can be a great gas gauge, so to speak, on how much energy is available in the atmosphere that can be converted into showers and thunderstorms. And of course, you're looking for a higher number. Generally into the 60s is when you start to see enough fuel for severe thunderstorms. And looking at the current dew points, we have a lot of towns that are in the lower 60s, others in the upper 50s. So we're on the borderline there. We've got the fuel out there. We've got the ingredients for some severe weather here tonight. The trigger just hasn't been pulled yet, and that's the cold front that's looming off towards our northwest. So we're keeping an eye on that to see when these storms start to fire off and come through our area. Current conditions show it's pretty warm out there, 81 degrees with a relative humidity of 52%. Southerly southwesterly winds running up towards 20 miles per hour. So on Lake Superior tonight, there is a small craft advisory. Not a good night to go boating because right now it's windy and it's wavy, and eventually it'll probably become stormy. Air pressure, it's getting low, 29.65 inches of mercury, 1,004 millibars. Half of the low has come through already with the warm front. That happened last night with those storms. And now the cold front tonight is expected to kick things into gear as the evening goes on. And you can see that the cold front is now in the northwestern parts of Minnesota. International Falls down to 60 degrees, but still into the 70s and 80s ahead of it. So with numbers like that on the warm side and the humid side as well, at least relatively speaking here, we've got the fuel in place for those storms. There's an 80% chance for the storms. And now, looking at the Doppler map right now, which loops back several hours, you can first, of course, see some of that rain then from last night that woke Kristen up over towards the Hibbing-Chisholm area and points down south. Now, this is where the cold front is, towards International Falls, starting to work through the area. So far, it hasn't caused too much trouble for Lake of the Woods County or northwestern Koochiching County, but it could gather steam as the night goes on. So that's why we say an 80% chance for the storms as this low-pressure system works through the area. And it should be out of the area for Minnesotans by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, maybe noon for Wisconsin and Michigan. That'll be followed by higher pressure settling in from Canada. So Friday and Saturday will be clearish and coolish. But if you like the 80s we got today, they could be back again by Sunday. Now, let's talk about how much rain could fall from the cold front's passage here tonight. Decent rain totals, still looking at about 1/3 to 3/4 of an inch around the area. And even though the growing season's just about done, well, if we can't use it to grow things, we can use this moisture to replenish our reservoirs. Now tonight in Minnesota, temperatures, they will go 47 to 56, 80% storm chance here. And looking at Wisconsin and Michigan, 80% storm chance there as well, with lows in the mid to upper 50s. For tomorrow, daytime highs, Wisconsin, Michigan, mid to upper 60s, 50% chance for morning rain, then clearing in the afternoon. Minnesotans should clear fairly soon after sunrise, and high temps will run about 61 to 69 degrees. So tonight is the big chance for action. Friday, we recuperate. Saturday, mostly sunny and 68, but Sunday we go back towards 82 degrees with sunshine. Then our next chance of rain is going to be with us Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Kristen, starts warm, then finishes cool.
All right. Well, I know that you have some storms you have to watch tonight, but you know I have my eye on Sunday. Little last taste of summertime.
Exactly. Boating, biking, hiking, all kinds of fun things could be accomplished, but no work, right?
No work. We already agreed on that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dave. The Biden administration has begun notifying governors and refugee coordinators about how many Afghan evacuees will be resettled in individual states. This comes as a new group made up of former presidents, Afghan Americans, and advocates launched this week to help accelerate resettlement efforts so evacuees can assimilate to life in their new country.
It's going to require commitment both from private and public sectors to ensure that Afghan refugees can successfully weave into the American fabric.
CBS News has obtained government statistics that break down where the roughly 37,000 Afghan refugees who arrived in the first phase will be resettled. California is set to receive more than 5,000 refugees, the largest number of any state. That's followed by Texas with more than 4,400. A Minnesota nonprofit is asking for help housing Afghan refugees. Lift Up is preparing to help 35 refugees arriving in the Twin Cities at the end of the month. Nonprofit leaders say men, women, and children need housing. The group is asking for donations to assist families with housing and other needs, including clothing, food, and household supplies. You can find a link on how to donate on our website. It's that time of the show where we get to talk about adoptable pets. And today's pet comes to us from Range Regional Animal Rescue in Hibbing. This is Xena. She goes by Z for short and is a mix of 6 different breeds. Xena is a fun girl who is full of personality. She's been in and out of the shelter a few times through no fault of her own, but she is now looking for her forever home. If you'd like to set up an appointment to adopt Xena, you can call the number on your screen. Still to come, President Biden is pushing a new economic recovery bill, but is seeing pushback from both sides of Congress. We'll have the details from Capitol Hill after the break.
Get ready, y'all. Start spreading the news. We're taking the show on the road and kicking off a new season in NYC. Big shows, big stars, and big surprises. We're going big in the Big Apple. Well, that works too. From Central Park to Coney Island, I'm putting the y'all in New York. You didn't even know it was there, but it is now.
Culligan, our water makes my skin and hair feel like I'm 90.
How do you feel about high-efficiency water softeners from Culligan Water?
What?
How do you feel about smoother skin and luxurious hair?
I feel very good about that.
That's the power of water.
Do you listen to the TV on high volume or have trouble hearing conversations? Then you would benefit from hearing aids. Don't waste thousands on expensive hearing aids when you can get Nano's revolutionary technology for just $297. Don't be fooled by higher-priced hearing aids. The CIC Recharge is a true hearing aid, not an amplifier. With rechargeable technology many customers say is superior to more expensive models. Call now and get not 1, but 2 Nano hearing aids for just $297. Plus, we'll add a portable charging case and ship your order absolutely free. The CIC Recharge has a tiny in-the-ear canal design that is nearly invisible. Why keep missing out on important conversations or waste thousands of dollars? Call and get 2 CIC Recharge hearing aids for only $297 and free shipping.
800-758-1647. Again, that's 800-758-1647.
Do you suffer from anxiety, depression, PTSD, or other mental health conditions that are impacting your daily life? Ketamine North can help.
In public safety, we see things that sometimes you can't unsee. I came to the Ketamine North, had several infusions, started to feel better.
I actually laughed and scared myself because I hadn't heard myself laugh in years.
It's time to reclaim your life with the innovative and successful treatment that is transforming lives. Be well with Ketamine North.
Hi, Gail King here, inviting you to join us every morning right here on CBS. We'll have the important stories and the interviews, all the news that matters really, and best of all, we'll have a good time together. We like to do that. And now you can find us anytime you want on the new Paramount Plus app. So we'll see you every morning right here on CBS. I thought that was pretty good.
At Ralph Eye Care Specialists, we help your family see well. We check your child's need for glasses, and we screen for problems which are best treated early in life. We test your parents for diseases like macular degeneration and glaucoma. These often have no early symptoms, so regular eye exams are important. And we care for you, providing routine and emergency care for your lifetime. Call now to schedule an appointment at Ralph Eye Care Specialists.
President Biden continues to push congressional Democrats to pass a massive spending bill that he says will help America's economic recovery. But there is reluctance from some Democrats and a full-on pushback from Republicans. Skylar Henry has more details from Capitol Hill.
President Biden delivered remarks on the economy Thursday afternoon and said it's time the rich started paying their fair share.
The top 1%, for example, evade an estimated $160 billion in taxes that they owe each year. Not new taxes, taxes that they owe.
The president met one-on-one with Democratic Senators Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema Wednesday. Both have expressed doubts about the $3.5 trillion economic package, which the president says is needed to bolster the middle class.
We can invest in our people, giving our families a little help with their toughest expenses, like daycare, child care, elder care, prescription drugs, health care.
Democrats need unanimous support for the president's plan to pass because Republicans are unified in their opposition to the bill, saying the president's spending is triggering inflation.
The amount of being spent by the Biden administration, the challenge to the work shortages, to making more inflation continuing to grow. Inflation is a tax on all Americans.
Americans are spending more at the grocery store these days. The Labor Department reported this week that Americans are paying 5.3% more this August than they did last August. Beef, pork, and poultry prices saw the biggest spikes.
A very small number of giant corporations now dominate the market, which gives them the ability to drive up prices because they face so little competition.
Administration officials say the top meat producers are making record profits. But they're still paying farmers and ranchers the same prices. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The House could vote on the $3.5 trillion reconciliation bill by September 27th.
Here's what we're working on tonight. The nationwide school bus shortage. National Guard members having to drive kids to school in some areas. How the lack of drivers is just the latest challenge for parents. The CBS Evening News is just minutes away.
CBS3 closed captioning is brought to you by Essentia Health. Need a flu shot? Schedule your flu shot online today at essentiahealth.org/flu.
Important healthcare announcement. If people tell you your TV is too loud, or if listening in some environments has become difficult, we are requesting your participation in a special program called the 30-Day Challenge. Hearing Life Hearing Centers are seeking people with hearing difficulties to evaluate a new digital mini hearing aid now being released. To take part in this event, you must call. Please get a pencil and write down the number below. All people with hearing aids or hearing difficulties are wanted to take part in the 30-Day Challenge, evaluating a new high-tech device that sits discreetly behind your ear. This hearing aid is Bluetooth enabled and is rechargeable. All hearing assessments are performed at no charge for those taking part in the challenge. Participants will try these hearing aids for 30 days. Call the number below and take the Hearing Life 30-Day Challenge.
The Good Garden Company is offering you great discounts on our healthy tree, shrubs, and perennials to help you spruce up your landscape. Save on sculpture, pottery, furniture, rugs, and gifts. We're offering great discounts up to 50% off at the Good Garden Company in Billings Park and Superior.
Not all internet is created equal. If you want internet that's even faster than advertised, if you want Wi-Fi on Mega Blast, if you want enough power to power all the things, that's asking for more than a lot. That's demanding extreme, and you deserve it.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Welcome back to the CBS3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look from Canal Park on this Thursday evening. Let's take a look back at today's top story and see what's coming up at 6. Tonight at 5, we learned about an elementary school in Chisholm that made the decision to move to distance learning following COVID cases within the school. Many parents declined to address the issues on camera for us today, fearing the community's reaction and potential harassment. And tonight at 6, has the drought impacted the hunting season? We'll hear from a member of the Minnesota DNR about the details of this upcoming season and potential changes to the way wild deer behave. That's your news at 5. The CBS Evening News is up next. We'll see you back here at 6.